Hi, CD Bestie. Welcome to Creativedisc exclusive interview. We have a very special guest today. Um, I grew up listening to this band a lot when I was young to this day. So it's been an honor for me to be able to interview one of the member from Yellowcard. We have Sean Mackin with us today. How are you, Sean?
William, what's up? I'm doing great. Thank you so much for your time.
Awesome, awesome. So I'm very excited for this interview, honestly. So I guess before we talk about Yellowcard's new album, new song that you just released a few days ago, I wanna talk about back in 2017 when
Mhm.
Yellowcard decided to break up. Um, can you tell us a little bit about back in 2017 until when you guys reunited in 2022? Can you please tell us a bit about what happened during those 5 years and also like how the reunion came about as well?
Yeah, William, it's tough. It's hard to talk about heartbreak and because everyone goes through it different. I think my whole life I play violin and I never thought I would have a career in music. I never dreamed that it was possible. It just kind of always seemed so hard. And I think when you have your friends with you and you're wanting to go on this journey and have fun, I think the way that life evolves, it changes things. And in the very first form of Yellowcard, we just wanted to play shows with our friends. We just wanted to, Ryan and I, we traded our first cars in for our first van. We built, storage and a sleeping kind of, futon platform in there. And we just wanted to play shows. And I think after that, you have life happens, people get married, we have kids, and it becomes challenging to manage the business of life and the business of Yellow Card with the art and the love and the sharing of just plain music. And I think that over time, how people look at music and consume music and how our fans, life evolves, I think that became really hard for us to balance our own life and business. And I think because we've been an open book, I think you see a lot of that pain. I think you see a lot of that heartbreak. I think we shared some of it. And I think on the other side, when we looked at celebrating 20 years of Ocean Avenue, which is, that's the mountain of our yellow card life and our career. I think we realized I didn't know that it was still important. I didn't know that there was going to be this resurgence of rock music and emo music and pop punk. All I knew is I have a family and I have kids and I need to be a good dad and support them. And I think when you look at that time that we spent away, I think you kind of always, if you get tripped up in life or things become hard, I think you end up trying to figure out whatever it takes. I'm going to do whatever I have to do to take care of my people. And I think when we got back with Yellow Card, I think, our manager, our booking agent, the Yellow Card team, they were like, "Hey, just trust us. There's people that want to hear these songs. There's moments of this story that you guys still can tell." And it took some convincing because there were moments in the younger yellow card years that felt tough. It felt like you're just getting punched in the mouth and that we couldn't do it. And I think in 2023 for the 20-year anniversary tour of Ocean Avenue, every moment felt new. It felt like we were trying to forget how it felt when we were down and how good it feels for Yellow Card to be up. And I think on the backside of that resurgence and the reunion and trying to figure out, what it is it just a, reunion and a celebration? And then we had talked about if we are going to do music, it has to be special. It has to be the best. And I think that brought on the chapter of Better Days is to try and be positive and fresh, but vintage and true to Yellow Card. And I think, if I could tell a story of 10 years, in a minute or less, I think that would be the best part. I think all of us have had hardship in our life. And I think how
Course.
to adapt and evolve and try and make that be part of the story, but not just the whole story. I think
Yeah,
that's where Yellowcard is right now.
right. Thank you very much for sharing. Now we touch on Better Days. You recently announced a new album that will coming out in October this year. It features Travis Barker as the executive producer, and he also plays all the drums on every track, which is amazing. Could you please tell us a bit about how that collaboration came about?
I mean, he played those drums, man. Travis Barker is generational. He is so
He's a
special.
legend. Yeah.
And I think it's funny because people always ask, they're like, hey, is that a dream come true? And it's not really a dream. You can't imagine it. I can't think it up in my mind if I was like, we should get Travis to play drums. It doesn't make sense, but it is a reality for a band Yellowcard. And I think, we've always told the story of our friends and being together. And I think when we looked at this journey, I think Ryan Key, our singer, very, very openly, he was like, "Hey, man, I've lived in a different musical space. I want to be the best for Yellowcard, but I don't remember how to write songs for this." And me and the other guys in the band were like, "Yo, it's good, man. We can do it. We're together." And I think to Ryan's credit is he was like, he understands how big this moment is, and I'm happy that he didn't feel like pressure evolves and changes people, and I'm happy that he didn't feel like the pressure was overwhelming. I think he leaned on us, and Ryan Mendez, our guitar player, his original band, one of his guitar players has been a very successful songwriter. He wrote with Blink 182 and
Right.
other artists, Avril Lavigne, Machine Gun Kelly, and I think we reached out to Nick and we're like, hey, we're, looking at not opening the floodgates. We don't want a ton of people, but we want people close to us that have had an understanding of who Yellowcard is and where we're trying to go and who we're trying to be. And Nick is awesome. He's so accomplished. He's such a great guitar player. And I think he was in a session and had mentioned, hey, I'm gonna work with Yellowcard to Travis. And Travis was like, yo, man, bring him to the studio. Let's see what we come up with. And so when
Wow.
Nick was like, hey, I spoke to Travis and told him we were working together. He wants you guys to come by. Like it didn't even in my mind it wasn't Travis Barker because he's on a first name basis with Travis, but I am not. And
Yeah.
so to comprehend that we got to work with him and his studio is incredible. Like him as a songwriter, as a producer was it's not that I shouldn't be surprised, but it's just so
Yeah.
unexpected how he was able to shape us into the band that we are and that we wanted to be and how we wanted to sound. And I think that is the most special part of Travis is how um, involved and how much he cared about the songs as much as I do about a band I've been in my whole life, right? So um, it's a testament of how many people you have that are around you that you can
Yeah.
trust
Yeah.
and it just kind of organically became this batch of songs that I can't wait for people to hear.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing. So I'm very much looking forward to it. I can't wait for October now.
It is
Um,
a but I can't
yeah,
wait.
and
Oh,
yeah, I can't wait now. I mean, if you tell me that story, I feel like, wow, it's gonna be amazing. I know it's gonna be amazing. But I guess as a fan, it's not only special because, it's your new album and everything, but it's a brand new album from Yellowcard since 2016, right? And how does it feel to be creating new music again with Yellowcard? You touched a bit about that before. And was this something that you guys have already planned when you guys got back together? Or is it something that happened more organically throughout like the years that you guys playing shows together, touring together for like 20th anniversary of Ocean Avenue? Can you share a bit about how this album shaped or like came about between you guys?
yeah, I think that it's hard to say I want to make the best album of my career and then
Yeah.
try and really do that. I think we made an EP in 2023 as like a surprise gift or present. We're like, hey, we're gonna go do these shows. Thank you so much for continuing to listen to our band. And I think that was genuine Yellow Card. I think that was, what we wanted to kind of share with our fans, that were like, we remember how to do this. We're trying to be, Yellow Card, and we want you to have something new. And now when I look at Better Days, we wanted it to be genuine Yellow Card. We want it to be honest. We want it to feel like us.
Yeah,
I think we just didn't know how to do that. And it's hard to say that we knew it all along. I think that there was just a leap of faith. I think that
yeah,
there were um, moments, I think, where all of us were like, I don't know what I'm doing. And we leaned on each other. And I think the execution part of it, with the help of Travis Barker, I think it's just so special for our band. We don't really know what it's going to look like on day one, but at the end of the journey, to be able to listen to these songs, and I know I get to listen to them and mix them and shape them, and they're not all quite out yet. But I think listening to these songs, I think is just, um, it's apparent that it's all part of the bigger plan. It's all part of the bigger journey. And I
yeah,
think looking now at these songs, it was important for us not to do, just a batch of songs just to say we wrote songs. I think we want it to feel Yellow Card. We want it to feel like us, but we needed it to be supercharged. And I think
yeah,
that's where we ended up.
yeah. And you, other than Better Days, you also released Honestly I, right?
Oh yeah.
Around the same time. And then, like for me personally, it sounds fresh. And like you said, it's still distinctively Yellow Card sounds, right? Which is what the fans love. Um, is there a reason why you chose Better Days as a main single?
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I think it's just a great element of, it has, foundation, it has backbone. I think Travis came up with this beat, and it felt, in the way that Travis does, it's so unique, but it's just like a drum beat.
Hmm,
It doesn't sound different, but if you start to listen to that, it fully has its own personality. And I think building around that, I think, you get this rock anthem. You have, we put big strings in there, right? It's like it has
yeah,
this rock opera vibe, and Ryan delivers this vocal performance. I think when Ryan Key looks back, I think he will be most proud. This is his best performance on a Yellow Card record. And so I think having the song Better Days, that feels, like a pop rock song, it feels like a pop punk song, it
yeah,
feels, like something that you could just close your eyes and scream, with
yeah,
your windows down as you're driving down the road. I
100%.
think
Yeah,
it has that summertime vibe. So it was important for us to pick a song that felt new, but it also just, you hear it and you're like, man, that's Yellow Card right away.
yeah. No, yeah, I mean, that's amazing. And can I also ask about the music video? I feel like it's very unique, right? I didn't expect that from Yellow Card, honestly.
Oh, thank
But seeing you all dressed up as the characters from like various movies, it was so fun to watch. Yeah, I mean, who came up with this concept? And then I guess the timing was, I don't know, I'm guessing you dress up as a from a Karate Kid movie.
Oh yeah, I
And
didn't
we
even
have a
finish the
new,
shot. I had the whole Miyagi-Do
yeah,
bonsai tree
yeah,
on the back. Uh,
exactly. And then it just so happened that, we have a new Karate Kid movie in the cinema.
yeah,
So I mean, like, yeah, who came up with this concept? Because I feel like it's so unique for Yellow Card. I didn't expect Yellow Card to, yeah, to have fun like that in a music video, which is fresh, right?
yeah. I think, and I think, we touched on that. I think, old Yellow Card, we took it very serious because I think we were trying so hard, right? And I
Right.
think, again, Ryan has been so involved in our videos. He in grade school, in high school, he was an actor. He did
Oh,
music
wow.
theater. He was,
Right.
on stage, he did, the band thing, as fun on the side. I think it was cool for us in school to be, in bands as a side project, right? And so he has always been a very visual involvement in our
Yeah.
videos. And he tells the story that he's like, oh, I read about, the fall of Blockbuster, and there's, the last video story. He's like, I think I kind of dreamed it up. But I think we wanted to embody this old school image of music videos from a different time, and I think it has that old MTV TRL vibe,
Yeah.
but it also has this fun, kind of element. And I think Yellowcard is so sacred to us. It's so special. And so, how do you show your personality? How do you show some of that character without tarnishing something that is business, right? Is special? Or how do you try not to do the fun thing too hard so
Mm.
it's cheesy, and I think we just wanted to show how much fun we were having. We had genuine, movie artifacts. His helmet is like a genuine pilot helmet. Like,
Yeah.
Ryan Mendez had his rad racing outfit custom made, right? And so,
Oh,
I didn't want a karate gi that was a costume that had
yeah.
like a screen print. It had a genuine embroidered, karate gi. So I think it was important for us to have the right execution. But this chapter for us is just about having good, positive vibes. We want to be the best. We want to make good yellow card music. The show is so powerful for us, but I think we want to show off that we get to have some fun too. And so that was it. And being true and genuine to old yellow card and vintage music videos. I think we just wanted to put all of that in the pot and see what came out. And the biggest Easter egg, we have a couple Easter eggs in the video.
Mm.
Rad Racing, the movie from the 80s, featured Crew Jones as this kind of like underdog vibe. So Bill Allen in the video was he's the kind of the angry manager.
Yeah.
He
Yeah. Yeah.
He was Crew Jones. So, we got the guys from Story of the Year in the video. We have Austin Romero. He's the voice of the WWE. So we have these friends, that kind of just showed up for us, and it made the video kind of really special. So there's layers there for better days.
Yeah, I mean, it's so much fun. When I first watched it, I was like, wow, I need to watch it again. That's how it feels to me. Because I feel like, there's a lot going on in the video and I enjoyed it so much, right? So, yeah, I mean, it's a great concept. I'm sure your fans gonna love it as much as I do. And
Uh,
going back to the album again, right? So you guys also released the track list for the whole album. And we can see there are collaboration with Matt Skiba and also Avril Lavigne, right? Two big names in rock music, in pop punk music. Um, is there any reason why Yellowcard chose to work with these two artists?
yeah, I mean, it's a dream come true. You
Hmm.
have amazing artists that came out of the same scene. I think
Yeah.
we had a song, and I don't want to, kind of ruin it for everybody. So not too many spoilers, but I
Yeah.
think we're all listening, and it just had this big rock band feel. And I think I even said, I was like, man, this just sounds like an Avril Lavigne song. And Travis
Hmm.
was like, oh yeah, Avril's my girl. Let me call her. I'll see. And we're
Wow.
like, we didn't really think of it. It wasn't like
Yeah.
a serious finality, like this has to happen. And I remember, yeah, I just get a mix sent to me, and so when I'm not in yellow card, I'm a baseball coach. I'm a softball dad for my kids, right? And we were at like a team function, and I just see this song pop up on my phone, and I'm like, oh, what's that? And I listen to it, and I grab my wife. I'm like, hey, come here, listen to this. And I was like, who's singing on this song? And she punches me in the chest. She's like, get out of here. That's Avril. And so it's so special. And
Wow.
I can't wait for people to hear it. I think the same thing for Matt Skiba. I think we have, this admiration for Yellowcard the Warp Tour, the Vans Warp Tour in the
Hmm.
United States. That was our goal. That was our, it wasn't like we need to make music videos, we need to be on TV, we got to be famous. It was like, let's get in the van with our friends, let's go on Warp Tour, like let's be with our buddies. And Matt Skiba, I mean, Ryan and I, we listened to, he and I did all the driving in the van. We just, it's not that we didn't trust anybody else. We just knew we had to get there. We knew how important driving was. And I think he and I, we listened to Alkaline Trio so much. And so to have this kind of angsty song and you hear some of these lines delivered by Matt Skiba, like it blows my mind. And that's just the power and the presence of Travis Barker. I think, we can dream up these moments. I think Travis made it happen and he did it for himself. He did it for us. And I'm just so grateful for him to invest so much of his time into, it's my lifelong project.
Yeah.
And I never thought that he wasn't, right there next to me doing, the best. He pushed me to be better. And just so much credit goes to him for helping us deliver this album.
Wow. October just cannot come fast enough. We need to hear the
Oh,
songs,
I
right?
know.
And other than that, like I feel like at least the past few weeks, a lot has been coming out from Yellowcard, right? New song, album announcement. Not only that, you guys also have a bunch of tour coming up with the big
Big
names in
tour,
the
big
industry, right?
tour.
You're gonna
Oh
go
yeah.
to Mexico with Fall Out Boy. You have like a bunch of tour dates with A Day to Remember. It's gonna be a big show, right? And we can only hope that, it's gonna come to Asia or Indonesia, right? But what are you most looking forward to? Like when you guys doing a tour?
I mean, for me, I'm old fashioned.
Yeah,
I want the live show. I've always said that I want to be grateful. I want to feel, um, the moments that we share. The songs come to life at the concert, and what you go through, or what I go through, or what other people go through. I don't really know that. I'll try and understand it, but I don't really know. And I want to just be grateful that whatever happens in life, it brings us to that moment that we can share together. And, these tours, whether it's, South America or the United States and hopefully Asia, Southeast Asia, um, it's just so important to us because our fans, they give us that life, that energy, that opportunity, and we are so grateful for that. And I think we never lost it along the way, but we do have a chance to let everyone know how thankful we are and how grateful we are.
yeah,
And I think that's the part that I look forward to is the chance to say thank you for listening, the chance to say that we want to be the best in Yellow Card that we can be, and we can hear you singing the songs at the karaoke bar, at the weddings, at the emo night, at the concert. We can hear you and we love you and thank you so much. I think that's the best part of this.
right. Other than all those tours, you guys also gonna appear at, I feel like, one of the biggest music festivals in the world when we were young in October. Do you guys prepare something special for that festival? Because we know, like, it's for me, it's one of the biggest. It's a dream come true for like an emo kid to come to that festival and sing all these bands. And I can see, like Yellowcard is going to be in the lineup this year. Do you guys prepare something special for the festival? If you guys can give us a bit of a hint.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
very special. So I think when we're young, I think is partially, if not majority, responsible for this resurgence in music. I think
Yeah.
they picked
100%.
the destination at the end of a global crisis for people to come and celebrate and appreciate. And they did it in a way that made people feel safe and feel together. And I think when I look at the old days of Yellow Card touring and the Vans Warp Tour, it was a place that we wanted to make people feel safe to appreciate music. And you didn't have to do anything crazy or wild. And I think when we're young, brought all of that back together. And
Yeah.
when you're in a place and you can see all your friends and you can see the appreciation in the amount of people that come together to do that, it is, I mean, it gave me, I mean, it gives me chills thinking about it right now. And so we want to make sure that we can give our fans, and when we're young, something special and something different. We have our own rehearsal days just for that show, just so we can make
Wow.
sure that we can take the yellow card show to the best level. So um, it's not taking away from the other shows, and
Yeah.
obviously we'll have some trickle down effect into the other yellow card shows. But yes, the when we're young moment and element is so powerful, and we definitely want to have the yellow card machine going full go.
Wow. That's awesome. I wish I can be there. That's gonna be amazing. And not to try to put you in the spot or anything, but is there any plans for you guys to come back to Southeast Asia, Indonesia included?
Yeah, we're
Is
trying
it
very
is
hard.
it a yes?
I think the experiment of the 20-year Ocean Avenue World Tour
Yeah.
is trying to figure out how we can go to these faraway places and not fall apart. I think traveling, um, shipping our gear. I mean, even my violin, what I do, I have to have my gear. You can rent guitars and amplifiers or anywhere, and not to take away from, our guys have custom beautiful guitars, but the violin in and of itself is I'm a been around these guitar players and all these players, and I have to have the best gear, as a violinist. I can't. And so it just makes it challenging to get to the faraway places.
Yeah.
But just know that that place, Southeast Asia, and so many faraway places are on the yellow card hit list that we're trying to figure out how to make sure we can get there. And we've gone to a couple different places, over the last 2 years, but definitely we want to come back, and we need to see our yellow card fans over there.
Awesome. Awesome. And I guess my last questions is just, do you guys have any message for your friends in Indonesia that you wanna
Yes.
tell
Yeah.
them?
Hey, dear Indonesian fans, we love you so much. Thank you so much for listening to Yellow Card. We got the Better Days songs coming for you, and we're doing everything that we can. We want to come back, and we want to see you as soon as we can. Thank you so much for listening.
Awesome. So I think that will wrap up again one more time. It's been an honor for me to be able to have a chat with you about the upcoming Yellow Card album. I just can't wait to hear it now. After I'm talking to you, you tell us all these stories, how it came about, all this collaboration. I just can't wait. So I'm sure
Brilliant.
CD Bass is gonna feel the same. So
I
yeah,
can't wait
thank
for
you
you guys to hear
again.
these songs. Thank you so much for your time, and
Thank you very much, Sean.
we get to see you in person soon. We get you a big high
Yeah,
five.
hopefully we can catch up in person. That will be amazing. All right. So thank you very much, Sean. I really appreciate your time and
Thanks, brother. Have a
see you
good
next
one.
time. You too.